So this is the first video I'm doing about wristwatches. I'm an enthusiastic but amateur collector. I have, I estimate, about 12 working watches at the moment in my collection, which is nothing compared to some of the more serious collectors. Typically my watches have been from more recognizable brands like Casio, Seiko, Alba and the likes. I've got a Fossil too, which I will show off sometime later. It's a full skeletal watch, but for now I'm going to be talking about Pagani Design. This is a new watch that I bought. Why is it not in the box? Because, well, it's on my hand right now. So I'm going to tell you all about this watch, but first a little bit about Pagani Design. Let's have a look at the website, shall we? Let's go to their home page. So they are a Chinese watchmaker. If we scroll right down and look at their About Us section, established in 2012, okay, so over 10 years. Supposedly they are sold in Europe, America, Middle East, Southeast Asia, basically all over the world. That's what they claim. They claim to have professional watchmaking workshop, years of experience, testing, design and development team, all those things. But one of the interesting things that actually helped me pick this watch is the fact that it's got a seiko mechanism. If we look at the product page for what I've got, which is a PD-2720K in rose gold with a brown leather strap, it's got a seiko mechanism, so that gives a bit of peace of mind. And also I was motivated towards checking out the brand because one of my friends, Dr. Sunet, he's been collecting watches for quite a while and he's got 4 Pagani Design watches in his collection. So, and he's been very complimentary about them. So I thought, why not? So I contacted the agent here who brings them down. I don't know if I can call him an agent, but he's probably the only one who's properly bringing them down here, I think. His name is Pasindu and he works, his company is called Argon Square, and very nice chap. Met me, showed me the collection, and then I told him I wanted this particular watch in this color scheme. How you can do that is you go to the Pagani Design website and see what's there. You can see all the colors and everything. Men's watches, women's watches, they've got it all. And I should mention that these are, most of them are what are called homages, and there is a fine line some consider between what is a homage and a blatant copy. What I could find on the web is, and this is from sites like Hodinkey and Ben's Watch Club and stuff like that, where they say that a homage is something that looks like a more expensive watch in several ways, but isn't a blatant copy of it, in that there may be a few tweaks or adjustments made to it, and of course it will not carry the brand of that famous watch that it's, you know, being inspired by, whereas a copy is what it is, a copy. So a fake Rolex is basically a fake Rolex. It's going to say Rolex on it, it's going to look exactly like the real thing. And I was reading some interesting things where what was called a high grade copy of a fake Rolex, a watchmaker was only able to tell that it was a copy because a certain component inside differed from the original by 0.9 millimeters. So he said that until he got into the mechanism and measured the individual parts, he could not tell that it was a copy. So copies these days are increasingly sophisticated and hard to detect, whereas a homage makes no pretense about what it is. It is not a Rolex or an Omega or any other brand of the big brands, that is. It is merely a homage. It is something made to look like it with a few tasteful or otherwise changes to it, each one to their own. So there I've touched briefly on copy versus homage. More seasoned watchmakers may disagree with me, and well, I bow to their knowledge because I'm still a relative newbie in this. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing of the Pagani Design watch that I bought, PD-2720K in rose gold with brown leather strap, and let's see what it's all about. Now I got this for 28,000 Sri Lankan rupees delivered to my doorstep. That is the price I paid with the 1-year warranty, signed warranty card, all that stuff. And I've been wearing it now since I got it around early April, so I think I've got a fair bit of impressions about it, but you'll have to wait for the unboxing before you can hear about my impressions of the watch. Stay tuned. Okay, it's unboxing time. Let's have a look at the box first. It's in a very surprisingly nice finish with the Pagani Design text and the logo in gold. The box is actually a very dark shade of blue. I think you can just about make that out in the video. Opens like this. It's a surprisingly good quality box. I wouldn't have expected this level of quality in a box for a watch at this price point. So then the first thing we get is a cleaning cloth, a branded cleaning cloth. This is your standard cleaning cloth that you find with a set of sunglasses or regular eyeglasses. Here is the watch. So you can see it sits quite nicely in the box. It's a chronograph, and on the side here we have got your guarantee card. You can see that I have purchased it from Argon Square. The model number 2720K PD, Pagani Design that is, and the date I purchased it on. Then we've also got in here a little user manual and international guarantee. Very slim, very thin thing. Details of guarantee, okay, material advantage, function illustration. Sorry for bumping the camera. And this is a generic manual. You can see it has various different watch faces because these watches use different mechanisms depending on their style. So function of mechanical watch, okay, this is everything is there, righto, guarantee certificate. I'm just going to put all that away because the main attraction is the watch itself. Take it out of its box. There's nothing else in the box. Let's get it out of this little foam here, and here we are. You can see my ring light there. Quite a reflective bit of glass that is, and it is curved glass too. I must say the gold finish is very nice. I'm rather picky when it comes to gold watches. I can rarely find a shade of gold that suits me, so that's why when I saw this shade it appealed, because well, you can see that it's not too ostentatious. It's got just the right amount of glimmer and shine to it, but it's not, you know, it's not vulgar basically. So this is a chronograph showing the time correctly, and because of that, that is the dial down there that actually shows your seconds. The what we would call the traditional second hand is actually used for the chronograph function. So let's give that a try, shall we? Here we go. Give it a good push. You can see it starts counting. When this rotates a full minute, that inner dial there will move one step to show that a minute has passed, and then 1, 2, 3 and so on. You can stop the chronograph like that, pressing this again, and this is the reset button, and you can see it quickly flicks back to the 0 position. Now these pushers could have a little more springiness to them, but I'm just nitpicking here because they're still perfectly fine. Let's try the chronograph again. Give it a good click. There we go. You don't have to exert too much pressure actually, but there is a very well defined point at which you feel it engage. Stop it again, and if we reset it, you will notice that the needle swings back to 0. On some chronograph watches, the needle will actually do a full lap of the circuit and go to 0, whereas here it just goes back to 0. Sorry about jerking the camera again. And of course you have the main adjuster here for time and date. I'm not going to bother with that because it's set correctly at the time of doing this review. Actually the date is a little wrong. It should be the 4th. I got this watch in the night, so let's see, there we go, 4. It is the 4th of April when I'm doing this. I got it on the night of the 3rd April. So here we are. Very nice brown leather strap with a matching rose gold buckle. The strap feels quite nice. It is a generic strap of course, but that's perfectly fine at this price point. PD-2720K, Pagani Design Flight, okay, all those things are there. 100-meter water resistance. I'm not going to be testing that because I mean I don't believe that you should go diving or anything or swimming with a watch like this. It's a dress watch. So that is the unboxing of the watch for now. Perhaps I should wear it on camera and see how it turns out. Actually I'm wearing it off camera because it's not easy to get it supported as with most watches. Let's just get the buckle and things in there, and there we are. Apologies for the ring light. This glass is quite reflective, so you can see that. Yes, I must say I rather like the look of it. Sits very well on my hand. All the controls are easy to operate. So all that remains now is for me to wear it around a few times and see how it feels and how it progresses. So here we are. You just saw the unboxing. Since that unboxing, I've worn the watch about 6 times. This would be the 7th time. I've lived with it for about 2.5 weeks, and I've got to say, so far I like it. I mean, I'm going to show you a bit of video while I'm talking of how it looks in the sun, which I think is particularly striking because Even though the dial, the outer edge of the inside of the dial looks black, in certain lighting, which is quite difficult to capture on video or camera actually, it is a very dark shade of blue, whereas other things like the rose gold I feel is very tasteful, because I'm a very picky person when it comes to gold watches. I don't like that typical ostentatious in your face gold. So this is probably the first watch I'm owning that is any shade of gold or towards yellow. All the others are much darker shades or not that quite yellowish gold kind of shade. I think you know what I'm talking about. So on that token, I like the color of it. The band is quite comfortable too. I think the longest I've worn this watch is about 4 hours straight. It didn't make me feel uncomfortable, and most importantly, it didn't make me itch. So that tells you that yeah, this is made to a fairly high degree of quality, in that the materials used are not low quality or allergenic or anything like that. And I do tend to itch if you know something's a bit scratchy or a bit unfinished on my arm. So that's that. Mechanism, haven't found any issues with it. If I had to make a very middling criticism here, it would be that the pushers are slightly loose for my liking, but that's not a major thing. And also the watch doesn't have a split lap function, but then again I'm literally splitting hairs here, because I have never used a chronograph to measure a lap of anything. I mean, the only time I've used a similar feature is when I used a pulse meter on my Citizen Eco Drive, which I'll be doing a video about in the future, and that function is used to measure a person's heart rate. So I did that just for kicks and found it to be quite accurate on my own heart rate, but chronograph I've never used. So to sum up, I think yeah, Pagani Design, pretty interesting. And no, they are not affiliated with the sports car maker in Western Europe either. That's a totally different Pagani, and in fact I read that they can't sell their watches under the name Pagani Design in some markets because of potential copyright issues, so there the name is slightly changed, but what we get here is Pagani Design. So yeah, I mean there's not a lot much more to say about it except for the fact that I like it, and I mean it's kind of like a fairly nice and well suave looking watch that I can wear out and about without worrying about wearing something that's worth a lakh or more on my wrist, especially if I'm going somewhere where I'm not too comfortable to wear such a watch and go. Having said that, I did wear this for a wedding as well. It went very well with my outfit. So there you are. I mean, I think yeah, Pagani Design is fairly okay, fairly decent at what they do. Local agent Argon Square does a great job. Thank you for that once again, Pasindu, for doing a great job of customer service, getting the watch down, delivering it to my doorstep, explaining the features, and giving me a proper warranty card, all those things. So those little touches that matter when you're doing a small business. So there goes my first watch review. I hope I haven't rambled on too much. I feel I may have, but well, if you've made it this far, that means you're okay with people rambling on. So do subscribe to my channel, drop me a like on this video, and if I've made any mistakes in it, I apologize. This is my first watch video, as I told you. I'm still learning, but have a nice day and look forward to seeing more watch videos, as well as of course my usual model cars, model trains, etc. etc. Thanks for watching.